We are a group of students from Warsaw, and we are participating in a project called Filomates, which goal is to explore the connection between mathematics and philosophy, and eventually all sciences in general. So to start off, you are a physicist, and yet you hold interest in philosophy. So do you think some connections between them, and what interested you in philosophy?
So yes, indeed, I'm a physicist and have some interest in philosophy. I'm a completely amateur philosopher. First, I want to express my, I enjoy very much that there is such a program of studies. Okay, there is something which is not very common in Polish system, that you have a program which connects philosophy and exact sciences, and this is something which definitely was lacking during the time I studied, and so that's why I say that I'm an amateur philosopher. And what is interesting in philosophy for physicists, you go to study physics to understand how the world works. Okay, so after studying 5 years of physics, you don't know how it does. Okay, so this is the main problem. So you usually need some, I don't know whether you can call it deeper, another kind of explanations, okay, from time to time. Okay. On the other hand, I think that exact sciences have a lot to teach philosophers, okay, in a sense. Okay, so we are really down to the ground. Okay, we do not speculate too much. This is not true. Okay, physicists also speculate a lot about new possible phenomena, new possible theories, and so on. But somehow the method of thinking is deeply rooted in our experience. Okay, so I'm a mathematical physicist, so I do not have too much to do with experimental physics, but I have to talk to my experimental colleagues. Okay, just to confront the ideas I have with what they obtain in the experiments, or ask them whether such an experiment makes sense or something like that. So we are somehow accustomed to think in terms of physicists. I do not mean mathematicians. We are very much attracted to the idea that everything should be, okay, had some relation to experience, to everyday experience. And I think this is a lesson which philosophy also can learn from physicists. Okay, so to really try to every time to somehow have this connection to the real life. Okay, so to the real physics. Okay, real life is maybe too much to physics. So this is why this particular philosophy is of interest for me. This particular conference is of interest for me. This is because it somehow realizes this double, I would say, goals. Okay, so it is devoted to philosophy, but using and exploring and finding the similarities between reasoning, which is characteristic in physics or in mathematics, and in philosophy, and using, for example, ideas which mathematicians, physicists produced to explain some philosophical concepts, and vice versa. Okay, so vice versa, it means that definitely in everyday life of physics, of everyday work of a physicist, we do not think too much about for example, ontological problems or epistemological problems. The situation changed a lot recently, not recently, I mean last 100 years, when the theories which are actually far from our everyday experience come to life. So I mean quantum mechanics and general theory of relativity. Okay, so then you have, with interpretation of this, you have at some point you have to think a little bit about interpretation. Although in everyday life and constructing, I don't know, electronic devices which are all based on quantum mechanics, you don't think too much about interpretation. It works simply. Okay, but at some stage.
Can we say that philosophy asks questions and sciences like physics answer to them?
I don't think so. I think that there's a mutual exchange of answers, of questions, and I would say provisional answers, okay, as usual. Okay? So definitely with our physical knowledge we cannot answer philosophical problems, but we can contribute somehow to possible, I would say, satisfactory answers. I don't know whether there are satisfactory answers on philosophical questions. And some philosophical question is answered, it's no longer a philosophical question, it becomes a part of some science. Okay. Okay, so for example, you can, at some stage you can even treat the concrete questions, whether, for example, what is the why bodies move in such a way or in such a way? Okay, so this was idea of philosophical I would say contemplation, and then we know how it is, and then it's part of physics, or even of very special part of physics. Okay, there's no longer meant too much philosophy in that. Okay, so it means that that is always the exchange of ideas. I would say no, this is not so that I for example expect that philosophers answer my questions in physics, and I think that they do not expect that I answer their questions in philosophy. But I think that mutual interaction is very fruitful here, nevertheless.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.